Peace, love, and blessings to each and every one of you. Welcome and welcome back to Redefining Authenticity. My name is Sheronda Barksdale, your life empowerment coach over at Authentically Your Expressions, where we are helping you live your most authentic life.
Yes, and peace and blessings, love and light. It's your girl, Kim Martin Raymond, your toolbox essentialist and founder of Redefining You LLC, where I help my clients to realign themselves, mind, body, and spirit. And it is also home of the 365-day challenge, where we are on day 139.
I don't know how I feel like. I don't know how I feel about being reminded. I'm starting to feel like it's not
Every
over
day.
yet. It's not over yet. Thank you for letting us know.
We are 139 days into this year, okay? 2/3, 3/4, into this new year. That's all I'm saying. It's just been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Been a long time.
It's been a long time. Yeah, y'all know that I've opened my product store. It's called the Mindfulness Moments, and we are now currently running a 50% off sale because my birthday is coming up on the 28th. Yay! That is my 5-year anniversary for Authentically Your Expressions. Yay! And that is me and G's, my boyfriend, 3-year anniversary of being together. So yeah, we're excited. We're excited about what's going on. So 50% off. In order to get that, you're going to type in promo code. Kim, if you don't mind typing that in for me, birthday girl. So you're going to go to the website. You're going to go to authenticallyyourexpressions.com. And when you go pick out your pillow, then you're going to go to the promo, the coupon code, and type in birthday girl, one word, and get you one of these amazing, y'all see them pillows? Those beautifully amazing giant.
And we said the promo code is birthday girl.
Birthday girl, yes, birthday girl. So I'm excited about everything that me and Kim's got going on. Kim, ain't nothing like being able to jam to your own theme song. Me, you be jamming.
All right. So I'm going to say grab your pillow, your meditation pillow. Let's say meditation pillow, and they can go to the website.
Yes. I was say if you want to put the website in, I can.
Yes. All right. So I'm saying going to
www.authenticallyyourexpressions.com, baby. It's right there. Just spell it out, y'all. I know that authentically, I'm telling you, be fucking y'all up. Baby, like, oh my God.
And I already got mine. Authentically,
came and got her pillow. So, and here's mine, just so y'all can see the size of these.
Yeah.
Hello. They're big pillows, but they're to help promote mindfulness meditation. They're nice and taut. So if you want to lay on them or sit on them, it's to keep you aware. So you don't doze off and fall asleep immediately. You will, but you will have the opportunity to sit nice and upright, practice mindfulness, and enjoy your meditation session and decorate your little meditation space.
I see. I spelled some more. I spelled I left out the P in expressions. Look, we're gonna make sure I get it right.
Hey.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if this works. Wait.
I wanted AYE so bad. I wanted it to be mine, and people had it. It was already taken. So,
all right. Let's see if I got this right now. Hold on. It just doesn't want to. It doesn't want to. Right. Okay. Hold on a minute. No, we gonna get it.
I was about to say, you want me to do it?
No, I have it. Oh wait, there we go. Save. There it goes. Okay, hold on. Grab your meditation pillow. authenticallyyourexpressions.com. Use promo code birthday girl. All right. So we'll let that scroll across. And then you guys make sure that you follow, share.
I thought you were going to put in the comments. I love her.
Well, we're going to have it scroll across the bottom for now. And then what we'll do is halfway through, we'll go back to ours. Those of you who have been following, make sure that you follow, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channels. Okay. They'll also be posted at the end. We have our QR codes at the end. And so you'll be able to clock in that way. But for tonight, we're gonna go ahead and have yours scroll through there so people can
Oh,
go get their pillows. Heck yeah, because I got mine here. Let me tell y'all something. The energy in the pillows, the
oh,
feel of the pillow, it is just awesome. I absolutely love mine.
I
Of
love
course,
you.
I am traveling, as y'all can see behind me. Where in the world I am in Houston, Texas. Just got here this morning, and so I don't have my pillow with me because I had too much stuff in my suitcase. I be carrying too much stuff, y'all.
That's
But
a
if I
big
could carry my pillow, I would have. Okay. But yes, make sure that you guys get your pillow. And then, like I said, make sure that you are following, sharing, subscribing. Make sure that you let us know in the comments where you are hailing from. Say
yes,
hello, say what's up, holla at your girls. Let us know that
yes.
you're here and show us some love and let us know how our relationship series is going.
Fine, yeah, absolutely. So now we're on part two of our relationship series of the do's and the don'ts of dating. So let's get started with that, Kim.
Absolutely. Let's go. Let me go ahead and get down on here. Here we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the do. Do. If you're not interested in seeing them again, let them know in the nicest way possible. That's a nice do. There's something about ghosting people that just ain't right. It just isn't good karma. It's just not good energy. Just disappearing off the face of the earth. It's not necessary. Okay. Let them know in the nicest way possible. I'm just not interested right now, or I just don't think that we click in the way that I need us to. So we're going to go ahead and end this. And that's okay. And if somebody says that to you, be okay with that. You don't want to
Right.
force something that isn't working. You
Right.
don't want to force it. Go ahead, say it in the nicest way possible. If the person gets upset, that's their problem after that. But you said it. But I don't think ghosting is the right response when you're not interested in someone.
Right. Because I think you leave the door open, like you said, for people to feel like, there's hope. If you don't say anything, now I can put in there whatever I want. I can
Yep.
say, oh, they just not calling. They just didn't call today. Maybe they'll call tomorrow. You're
Yes.
giving them false hope. you
Yes.
know and the whole thing is, why drag it out if you're not interested, or if you just say, you know what, I think that we just, maybe we're just good networking friends. Maybe we can assist each other in business, or maybe we can assist each other in a different way. It may not be the type of relationship that we want it to be. It's not a romantic one, but I
Right.
still see a friendship.
Yep.
I still see us being able to hang out, and that, and then that way you can have a conversation about what you want the parameters of your relationship to be. It doesn't have to be that you completely cut them off. They may actually be a person that may be a good resource for you in a different way.
In a
And
different
express
way.
that to them and give them an opportunity to decide if that's something that'll work for them. And they may be like, well, you know what, if it's not a romantic relationship, I don't see anything going on between us, because I can't differentiate between, or I can't separate the two. If I'm
Right.
around you, I'm just going to see myself continuing to be attracted to you. And if you don't have an attraction to me, then I don't see where that's going to work for us. And that's okay too. At least you've had a conversation to establish what it is. So that
Yes.
way you can go on and continue dating other people and doing things, and you're not putting yourselves in a position where, you're leaving that person hanging, or you're ghosting that person. Just like you said, I never see a need for ghosting, because some people feel like they need closure, and then they're waiting for you to explain why,
Right.
and you
Yeah.
don't necessarily owe an explanation. You're
You
just
don't.
not interested.
But you just put in a period at the end of the sentence. That's it.
That's
That's
it.
done.
I love it. It's just like, don't make it more than what's that. Sometimes we tend to do that. We tend to just go all out. Okay, let's go to the next one. Do stay positive when the date doesn't end well. And we talked about this last week. We talked about, if you go on a date, go someplace that you enjoy. Go someplace that you may have been curious about going to and didn't necessarily want to go by yourself. Or
Yes.
with something that's better when you go with somebody instead of by yourself. So, stay positive. So even though there may not have been a quote unquote love connection, you know,
Yes.
at least stay positive to say, well, you know what? Maybe it didn't work out the way I thought it would, but it was still fun. I still had a good time. You're not
Yes.
setting yourself up for failure
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you're going someplace that you enjoy, then that's the positive part of the date right
That's the
there.
positive
You
part.
got to do something that you wanted to do that you would not have had an opportunity to do, and that person may have even paid for it. So yeah,
Yes.
coming out feeling like a winner on that
What?
one.
I went out. Y'all asses don't even have to leave the house half the time. So you better be happy somebody took your little raggedy anyway. But yeah, stay positive. The fuck? So stay positive. When it doesn't, here's my thing. When people are always like, is there something wrong with me? When they've gone out on multiple dates and things haven't gone right. I mean, you could do some self-eval, right? You could check in with yourself to see if there's something that you're presenting. But when you're looking for the one, there's going to be several that isn't the one. Everybody you go on the date with is not supposed to end beautifully. I'm sorry to tell you that, because you're looking for the person that's most compatible to you. So every date is not going to end well. You don't even walk out the door expecting that. You're going with the expectation of spending time and getting to know someone and yourself. That's
Right.
all the expectation should be, not whether or not it's going to be good or bad. When it's bad, it's okay because that's not what you want. And that should still be a positive thought. You should be happy with the idea of, I can easily weed out what doesn't work for me versus trying to force a round peg into a square hole.
That's right. I love that. I love that. And it's confirmation of your boundaries that you set.
Yes.
I said that this was a no for me, and that's what I identified in this. Okay, so good. That means that I'm still in alignment with what it was that
What?
I said was my no or my yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's something to celebrate every single time, y'all. There's positivity in things that don't in even a business relationship, right? Even business relationships. I think if it doesn't end well, it's just a simple, this didn't work out. But there's got to be another open, there's going to be another open door. There's another opportunity.
Right.
I
One at a
love,
time.
I've come, the last chapter we read of the book too, of how the subtle art of not giving a F is essentially talking about failure is a new path. Failure is showing you where there's another opportunity to do something differently. If it doesn't end well, keep it moving.
Keep it moving. All
I
right.
was,
We're gonna keep
I
it
was
moving.
gonna ask you what you thought about that, Kim. I didn't even know if you got to that chapter yet.
I did. And that's the thing. It's just getting to that place of we're constantly feeling like, oh my gosh, we failed,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but we've taken the opportunity out of it. There's an opportunity for us to see things from a different perspective, and to, I don't want to use a cliche of seeing the glass half full, but my whole thing is, what can I glean from this
Yeah,
experience? What is it that I can take from this experience that's going to help me to move the needle towards the better version of myself?
that's all.
And it doesn't mean that it has to be something. And I always got to go back to food, and I think about barbecues and things like that. Or you have a family event, and you say, "Oh, well, the food was so nasty," and that ruined the event. But you forgot about the fact that there was an opportunity for you to get together and spend time with family and
Yeah,
friends. Y'all had games, y'all did things, and you let this one aspect of it ruin it
on it.
for you. And why? Why did they have to ruin it for you? Because you still had an opportunity to see family you hadn't seen. You still had an opportunity to play games and have fun. You
That's
still
right.
had an opportunity to get outside and get some of that vitamin D, all of those things that you could have gotten. But we focused on that one little tiny thing. And it just clouds out everything else. And that's not where we want to be. That's not the mindset that we want to have.
Absolutely.
So it's all about that positivity. All right.
Mhm.
Moving on.
All right. So next, the do. Surround yourself with positive people who are also dating. Positive people who are also dating. I mean, there's nothing wrong. You have friends where y'all all single, and sometimes they got married before you did. We're not saying get rid of those friends, but you have to consciously be aware of surrounding yourself with people who are dating. and are speaking positively about it. So you know about the experiences that they're having, and you in comparison to the experiences you're having, because sometimes there is a general, depending on where you live, there's a general. I live in Atlanta.
There's a pool.
There's a pool. So I'm comparing your swatch to my swatch. We're trying to synchronize swatches
All
around
right.
here and figure out, are we in the right place? Are we dating the right type of people? But that's good to have somebody who you can. So then when you're looking at like single, look for opportunities to go to single nights. Things where specifically you know you're going to encounter several single people, and you'll see other women or other men that you could chill and talk to, and then
Right.
y'all are encountering men or women yourselves. So then maybe y'all could become friends and y'all could talk about, girl, did you hear about the next thing that's coming up? And you're connected now with people in your area. And then y'all could both go to singles things together, but y'all can
Right.
now compare notes to see what's going on in the
Right.
street. Because there is a connection. I ain't gonna lie.
Hmm.
We can teach each other how to be aware of things when you're dating.
I love that. Like you said, speed dating and all these other kinds of events that they have, game nights and things like that.
Yeah.
So yes, if you have people, and the thing is to be around people who are positive about dating, not people who are bashing and oh this and that. Because what happens is when they start talking about their negative experiences, then all of a sudden you're discouraged to go out and do anything because now you're like, oh, well, this happened to my friend and that happened. You want people who are excited about going out and meeting new people because they may like Sheronda said, come up with different ideas and new things that you all can do together. And
Yeah.
so that way you're not putting yourself, with that person who's always bashing dating or that person who's always, why are you going out and what you doing and this, that, and the third. You want
What?
people who are going to put a spin on it, that are going to show you the positive things that can come out of it. Oh, I went out on a date. It wasn't a bad day, but it was fun to be able to do that. They are going to give you some ideas,
Yes.
of some things, especially like you said, if you've been out of the dating scene for a while, and this is the person who may have been dating for a while, they can kind of guide you on some of the things that, oh, well, this worked for me, or I was able to, go to this place and that place, and that
Yes.
worked out nice. And I'm gonna go back there next week. You want to come? It's getting people, it's being around people who are excited about venturing out and dating too, not those who are just going to sit there and bash the whole thing every
And that's
single
the
time.
whole thing. And also, it's important to be around other people who are dating. You don't want to feel like the third leg every time you go out with your friend and her boyfriend, or your friend and her husband, or however that looks. You don't want to feel like, because it's going to make you feel some kind of way about yourself that isn't true. That isn't true. I've watched people do that over and over again. And, I don't mind hanging out with my friend and her man. And then now you're there and you seeing these two booed up and they laughing and talk about the things that they got going on, and that's their little secret insider jokes and stuff like that. And now you're feeling like there's something wrong with you when it isn't. Yes, hang out with your friends, but make it your business to also be around people who are single and mingling, because that's your audience. That's who you resonate with, and that's who you need to connect with so that you can have the best time possible when you step outside your home.
Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, let's move on. The last do of the evening. Do date people you're interested in, not those your peers think are your type. Girl, I know this dude. I think he'd be perfect for you.
Hmm.
You know, because people are going based on your personality and what they think is best for you. I think this person would be so good for you, and that person may be so not your type, but they are just assuming. Now all of a sudden, everybody wants to be a matchmaker.
Oh my gosh.
To, that is the worst. Have you ever experienced matchmaking where you had a friend who tried to hook you up with somebody? Have you ever had that experience, Rhonda?
The fuck up, yes. And I have to be like, hell no. No.
Right,
What makes
right.
you think I want this ugly motherfucker? This no. They always pick people that and it's people don't realize I do have a physical attraction. There's a
Yeah.
physical thing first for me. And because they be like, oh, he's so spiritual. That motherfucker is missing 3 teeth in the front of his face. Why would you why would you think that's my type. He walks everywhere. I'm not walk. Do I look like I want to walk everywhere? Do I even?
Right,
I like
right,
what I like being in nature, and I like 5-star restaurants and nice hotels too. I'm not
right,
going to the whole hotel. This is not. Y'all know what he do. Stop trying to hook me up with that.
right. The sore spot.
Stop playing
Right,
with me. Stop
right.
playing with me.
And people, oh, I got the perfect person for you. And that person is so not there. Don't feel obligated
Don't
to
feel
do that. And people try to pressure you into, well, you need to try. He's a nice guy, according to
to
you.
you.
And what makes him a nice guy? Because you have certain qualifications that you look for. And so you trying to impress those upon me and what you think that I'm going to be interested in. Not so much,
And
and yeah,
Kim, your peers don't know you like you know you.
right,
People know you, and you can
right,
be friends with somebody for 20 past years, but the most intimate parts of you are not the parts that your friends get to interact
correct,
with. Those parts that you want to lay down with, those parts of you that you want to make business and money making decisions with, they don't know all the deeper parts of who you are. They get the friendship you. They don't get the baby you, the my babe, my honey, my
right,
sweetness. They don't get that part of you.
right.
So why in the hell do they think if they could direct girl?
Matchmakers. There are people out there who just think they are just the kings and queens of matchmaking. I think I see you booed up with my uncle, and you be like, nah,
Mm.
nah, and they won't even ask, and then that goes to the whole thing. Oh well, come and double date with me, and now you got me blind dating somebody, and I'm like,
Girl, I will bust my friends' feelings down. I show up and I'm not feeling this at all. I'm leaving all of y'all there.
oh.
I have no problem exiting stage left. Everybody will be
Right,
left right here if I'm not comfortable with this phase.
right,
Especially if you didn't give me a heads up.
right,
What? I want you to meet my cousin such and such.
right. That's why they have so many jokes about it too, because it's a joke.
He got a funny gait. A gait. Just the way he walk is weird to me. I'm gonna be like,
Right. And then you feel like you
walking
can't
down the
say
street with this.
anything.
This is what you saw me doing. That's what you saw me doing. I thought you wouldn't mind. You thought clearly we're
You
not
don't-
friends. You don't know me very well.
That's it. That's it. And you have to be clear enough and you have to be, have enough authority, put some bass in your chest and say, look, no, I'm not interested. It don't set me up on anything. And now all of a sudden, the next day you're like, so what's up with so and so? What'd you think about him? And you already know I'm not interested. And now you putting me in a position.
Now you put me in a position. I don't think it's the worst thing ever. Like if I say to Kim, does Jay have any friends? Like the four of us could go out. If I asked, I
Right.
set, I set myself up. You know what I'm saying? I kind of put myself in
Right.
the position of. And then once I go out and I get to know this person that first time, then I get to decide, is there going to be a second time where me and this person just could go out by ourselves and I can get to know them better? Okay, I don't hate the whole possibility, but if you
Right.
just going to be trying to set people up and you think that, I think such and such will be, I work with this guy that he seems so nice and he's single and you're single and you might be like, okay, I'll see how this may be, but then when you find out you're not interested in your friend, but girl, you should still no.
Mm-mm.
No,
Mm-mm.
you
Mm-mm.
y'all know no has a period at the end.
Yes, it does. And that reminds me, like I said, because my husband has a friend and he's just like, well, Kim, you got any friends? No, no, I don't. No, I don't. Because my friends are not me. Okay. And if you're basing that, oh, well, Kim's a solid wife, she's this, that, and the third. I am not my friends.
Okay,
And so, no, I'm not going to do that. And from what I know of you, I'm like, nah, I'm not trying to, have my friends run into that fist either.
Let's see each other.
Do
I know
that.
what you be doing, sir, ma'am.
Be real, yeah, be real careful about that
Sorry about
whole
that.
matchmaking. Don't be the one who is the matchmaker and don't get caught up in that. You don't have to. You don't have to. Date the people that you're interested in, not
Period.
those who your friends think you are, like you said,
Right.
period. All right, let's move on to the don'ts.
Yes. Ha!
Mm, mm,
Don't drink too much.
period.
You don't want to be sloppy, and you want to remember what happened. You can get to drinking so much that you don't even really recall even the interaction between you and this person, because now you're inebriated. You just being silly and having a good time, and you're not able to have a coherent conversation. Don't drink. We didn't say don't drink. That's not what this says. Don't
Okay.
drink too much, and then they have to halfway carry you to your car, or they got to help you get an Uber home, and now they're
Right.
worried about you all night, or you wake up in their bed the next day, and now you're full of regret.
Right.
You're dating. You don't know this person.
Right.
Keep yourself safe. Don't drink too much.
Right. I mean, like you said, it doesn't get any simpler than that. Don't make your first outing to the bar, because what happens at the bar? You're going to order drinks. And if you're a person who knows you cannot hold your liquor,
Liquor.
okay, and you done had two or three, and
You
next
know,
thing you know,
crazy.
you out there on the dance floor, you doing a robot moonwalking and all kinds of stuff like that. You're like, what? Okay. Don't do it. Don't put yourself in positions where you can where especially if you know you can't hold your
It's,
liquor. And
yes.
then sometimes in the nervousness of being on a date, you automatically start ordering drinks because
It's
now you're
more than
nervous,
you
and so you don't know
realize.
what to do. So you start ordering, and then next thing you know,
Yep.
you're not, like you said, you're not coherent.
Yes.
Just don't put yourself in that position.
Right.
Know your limitations. Know
Yeah.
thyself. You
Yeah.
know if you don't drink, or don't just try to drink to be cute. You better get you a mocktail. You better get you some water, because it's like you said, you don't want to be to the point where you don't know. And then that's when people are drinking and you're hearing about people who get stuff slipped into their drinks and things like that. You
Exactly.
have to be safe.
You have to be safe.
It's all about playing it safe.
And I'm gonna conclude this slide with drinking usually show a representative of us shows up when we're drinking. It's not our true selves. People like to say a drunk man tells the truth, but a drunk man talk too much. That's just really what it boils down to. They just talk too damn much, and you'll forget that you're on a date and that you're supposed to be having an exchange of conversation, and you're blubbering all over yourself, probably telling some stuff that you really don't want to tell somebody on the first date. You're showing all your damn cards, and probably some things that's underneath the cards too. Just don't do it.
Don't do it. Period. Moving on. Don't admire others while you're on a date. Okay? We all are guilty of people watching, but
Yeah.
don't be on a date and then, especially if you're doing, you be like, damn, look at that, whoa. Or you talking to the girl, and next thing you know, your eyes are wandering and you're following her. She's talking to you and you're steady looking,
Yeah.
and she's got to be like, hello, I'm over here. Okay? You know, wives don't like it, and neither do dates.
No.
Okay? You may see somebody, you may take a quick glance or something like that, but don't be standing there where your whole head is sitting, your
Hell,
head is trailing off because you turned your whole entire head. It's just rude. It's not ladylike. It's not gentlemanly like to be sitting there observing somebody else, or and don't go in with it. Wow, do you see her booty? Dang,
Yeah.
don't incite that person to look at another person either.
Yeah.
Your focus is supposed to be on the person that you're having a date with. We talked about last week about complimenting that person on themselves, because they're already feeling self-conscious. How do you think they're going to feel when you're sitting there looking at somebody else who's walking by?
See, and all that's going to do is create a situation where the first person feels like you're just not interested in them.
Right.
And it feels like you're not interested in me. If everything that walks by is also interesting to you. There's nothing off the rip. There's nothing I can do to get your attention. I'm not gonna spend any more time
Right.
trying to get you. I might stay there on the date, especially if you pay him. And my ass might start talking about women with you. Bad.
Mm.
Look. I'll do that.
Mm.
But now I'm not
Mm.
interested in you anymore, other than to help women watch.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
interested anymore because now I realize you have eyes for the many,
Right.
not so much for me.
Right.
Keep it pushing.
It's like you said, it makes people feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm already feeling self-conscious about what I'm wearing, about whether I'm accepted and everything else like that. And then you just gonna go ahead and make somebody else a priority. Mm-mm.
Priority.
Mm-mm. It's a
Okay.
no. That's a no. It's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, I feel it. I
All
feel it.
right, moving on.
Yeah. Don't ignore your personal safety. One of the number one things I'll tell anyone that's going on a date for the first time, drive yourself. I watched a video recently. I can't remember if it was IG or Facebook, where a young lady went out on a date with a guy, and he picked her up, and they went. And he didn't like the fact that she started singing "Happy Birthday" with a family next to. There was a little girl having a birthday party, and it was just exciting. So she just sang "Happy Birthday" with the family to the little girl, and he felt that was absolutely embarrassing. So when they left, he called himself checking her and telling her about how ugly that was. I mean, he berated her on the car ride to a point where when she asked him to let her out, and he wouldn't. She had to wait till they got to a stoplight to get like she was trying to get this car this whole time because he was berating her,
Wow.
all because she's saying "Happy Birthday" to this little girl.
Mm.
Watching this video, I'm sitting there terrified. Like, is he even gonna let her out?
Right.
You never know, and you don't know somebody's gonna drop you off in a random ghetto ass neighborhood where you could get shot or hurt because you're not even from the area. You don't know what's going to happen. Do not forget your personal safety. I always
Right.
tell people dress appropriately, not because you're not allowed to look how you want to, but because some people don't have any self control, and that's what you're learning when you're going on a date.
Mm.
That's what you're learning. So if your skirt is halfway up your ass, and every chance he gets, he's trying to put his hand on your lower back to top ass area, and
Right.
you know that's and it doesn't make you feel comfortable.
Right.
Those are your red flags. You get to learn about those things then, but don't put yourself in a position where number one you can't get out, and number two you're in a position where somebody who is a predator is gonna be trying to make you their prey.
Wow, that's huge. That's huge. This one, like you said, is worth unpacking a little bit because, yes, the personal safety hits on so many different levels. Just like you said, with your attire, you may want to wear something that's a little provocative or things like that.
Yes,
But then, just like you said, if something happens and you're having to get out of that car, you have to leave. Now you're sitting here half naked in the street because and trying to find your way home. And of course, there's always going to be somebody out there who's willing to extend a hand.
absolutely.
Okay. But now you're out here and you pulling on your dress and or your skirt or
Yeah.
whatever. And now you put yourself in a position.
Yes.
And then also those ones where that person, oh well, come over my house.
Yes.
Never ever a fan of
Mm-mm.
a young lady going over to a gentleman's house.
Sorry.
Okay. Because even if you're going and it gets hot and heavy and you decide to go home, now you're out at 1, 2 a.m. in the morning and your safety is being disregarded because that person didn't try to put you in an Uber or anything. Even if you
That's
drove
right.
your own car, you're still going out. You don't know if you're in the best of neighborhoods, especially if you're going to his place. You don't know what his neighborhood is like. And you don't want to find out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the
In the
morning when
morning.
you're trying to creep back home. It's not safe. Suppose something happens to your car. Suppose you get a flat tire. Suppose you run out of gas. Anything can happen. And
Anything.
now you're stuck by yourself out here in the middle of the night. He done rolled over because he done did his job. Now he's
Yep.
sleep. Didn't even say text me when you get home or anything like that. He's not checking to make sure that you're okay.
You're
And now you're
okay.
out here in these streets
Hmm.
by yourself. Anything can happen. You're provocatively dressed, And all that's doing, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
You're inciting trouble. You cannot ignore your personal safety. That's why they talk about make sure when you have a date, you have it in a place that's highly, it has a lot of foot traffic,
Yeah.
highly visible,
Yes. Yes.
not in the corner in the dark somewhere at some random park in the middle of the night. Think about where you're going and make sure that somebody knows where you are.
Yeah. And don't sleep on people. Sometimes you want to invite them over to your house because you might know that you got that nine under your pillow, or you got something over here in this drawer, but you don't know the strength of someone else. You don't know the quickness in what seems so innocent in a moment, all of a sudden turns into hell. It's just being mindful of your personal safety. I don't believe in the first few months of dating someone that they should be coming to your house or you going to theirs. They don't need to know where you live. You'd be surprised how many of these people turn into stalkers. You just trying to go to the grocery store and all of a sudden they know every time you leave your damn house. And there's not just a couple of them. There's a lot of people out here that is like that. They really are absolutely nuts. You have to be mindful. Even that's why I say even when posting where you are on social media, 9 times out of 10, if you see me post it, I'm not even in that building or in the area anymore. I'll be sitting at the house having a great time at such and such and such. And I can still tag the place from home because you never know who's going to try to show up while you're there. You have to be mindful to always protect yourself, man or woman. Women do the same damn thing. They will stalk the hell out of a man. Be sitting there outside of your house waiting for you to leave so that they could just run into you at the gas station or the grocery store or somewhere you went. Now they know where you work and everything. Protect yourself. Be mindful until you can see some consistency in a person so you can get to know them before they get to know. And even if y'all want to have that fun night out, go to a hotel. Go somewhere neutral ground.
Right.
Where if you had to yell through the wall next to you, somebody could make sure you're okay. But y'all don't need to be letting people know where you live.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if you have children. Especially
Especially.
women, if you have young children or you have daughters or anything like that, you don't want to invite someone to your home, into your space, and have them meet your children and you haven't had an opportunity to get to know them well.
Yeah.
Because you may be putting your children at risk, just like we were talking about. That person can be a potential pedophile and that you don't know.
Yeah.
You want to be real careful. Next thing you know, they're waiting and they see your child going home. Hey, I'm your mom's friend. Come ride with me, or come go with me. She told me to come and pick you up. Next thing you know, your child is missing. You have to be so careful about things like that. My biggest thing on this one, Sheronda, is making sure that people know where you are.
Yes.
You always make sure that you have a friend or somebody that you're telling them, hey, I'm about to go out. I'm going X, Y, Z place. Check in on me or text me, or, if you don't hear from me by such and such a time. Yes. Or I'll make sure that I reach out to you by such and such time. I'll let you know that I'm on my way home. Make sure that you're telling somebody, whether it's a family member, whether it's a best friend, you always let somebody know where you were. So if they have to do an investigation, that person can at least say, I spoke to Sheronda at 9:05, and that was the last time I heard from her. So at least we have a time frame of when you went missing, or if something happened to you. You have to let somebody know where you are. Do some type of alarm, something. Anything. What is something that you carry with you just in case things go south? What is something that you carry? Do you carry mace? Do you have a certain code? Do you have 911 in your phone? Is there something that you can press instantly that's going to help you in case of an emergency? Do you have that extra money? You remember back in the day, Sheronda, when I used to say, make sure you had a quarter in your pocket for the phone, or make sure that you had a couple of dollars to get a cab or whatever. Don't ever go somewhere and be flat broke and don't even have any money to call an Uber or have anything set up just in case things go wrong. Now you stuck out here. Yep. Charge your phone before you leave.
Yep.
Stop letting your phone die while you're on a date, or I forgot to charge it. Now nobody can track you. Nobody knows where you are. Nobody can reach you. take some precautionary steps. Make sure you got gas in your car. Kick your tires and make sure that your car and everything is all right before you even go on the date.
Yes.
You
Yep.
know, put
My
those
phone,
things in
yeah.
place.
One of my friends, every time she called Uber, number one, when she wherever she was going, she give me the address anyway. But she also connected me to Uber so that when she called an Uber, it would tell me when she got picked up, when she got dropped off, where she got dropped off at. Now I know the address where she is. And when she was leaving that address, it let me know when she was catching the next Uber and when she was going back home. So we would make sure that's what we did for each other to make
Oh
sure
yeah,
if anything happened, then we would know. I can use myself as a personal example for this. And this was eons ago, back when I was in college. But this guy, I had been talking to him. That's when online dating, just communication really started kicking off. And I had been talking to this guy for an entire year online, not in person. But I knew I wasn't physically attracted. I saw him pictures of him, but he was just cool to talk to. So I remember that next year, it was spring break, matter of fact. And so in college, everybody went. If one person going, everybody going. If one
right,
person leaving, everybody leaving. That's what we did.
right,
But this
right.
particular spring break, I was working a job off campus, and I had an apartment off campus. So I stayed home just to work. Everybody else went home to our original home. But I stayed near our college town because I just want to make money. That's just really what. Well, I'm up here bored. Same guy. He was like, "Why don't you come through and see me?" I was like, "I usually don't do that because my girls ain't here, but I'm bored as hell. I'm gonna go." So I went out, chilled with him. I think we watched movies, hung out, and it was cool. Showed me his apartment. I knew where he lived. All this stuff. Cool. And he was like, "You come back tomorrow. I'll cook dinner for you." Cool. Went back. He cooked dinner for me, and he gave me a glass of Arbor Mist. Now, if anybody knows a college student, Arbor Mist ain't about to touch nothing. We was drinking back then. We were drinking back then. Arbor Mist is barely wine, okay?
Right,
But
right.
all of a sudden, I couldn't control my own body. I couldn't control my own
Mm,
movements. So when he touched me, my body almost like gave into him. When he would get away from me a little bit, I had my own strength back. And so he knew how to take advantage of me, and he did. He took
oh,
advantage of me that night. And
wow.
I, even though it wasn't my fault, I beat myself up for so long about that because I knew better. It was like, I know not to go somewhere where my girls don't know where I am, where somebody ain't with me, meeting somebody for the first time, and just seemed like this little innocent, tiny little guy. But of course, he had to use drugs. That's what I ended up going to the hospital, and they were like, use a day rape drug in order to take advantage of it. Of course,
Mm,
because if his little ass tried me any other way, it would have been a whole different story. But
right,
I thought I was somewhere safe, and I
right.
felt, and I did. I take responsibility for ignoring my personal safety in those moments. So that's why we're imploring y'all to be so
Yeah,
aware of what you do and being aware of when you're making decisions today.
absolutely. Know the
I don't want to beat
signs.
that horse no more.
Know the signs. Follow your intuition. When your spidey senses start tingling, get out. You know, that's a huge one. Like I said, I felt we need to stay on that one for a few minutes because there are so many aspects of that state, that personal safety that are critical. You know,
Yes.
be safe. All right, the final one. Consistently and don't consistently engage with your phone.
It's another one we can sing on a bit.
Oh, we're gonna round out the rest of the hour with this one. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Your phone. Okay. So yes, we all know that if you're going someplace new, you start taking pictures with the phone or your food and the surroundings and everything. That's all good and well. But
Yeah.
at one point, be careful about taking pictures of people. Some people are not cool with you taking pictures of them
Mhm.
or just, oh, let's take a picture together. And next thing you know, you're putting it on social media and everything else like that. And you don't know the background of that person. They may be married, maybe in
I
another
about to say that
relationship.
husband and wife find out.
Right. And then here you are taking all these pictures and posting them on it. And you didn't ask if you could do that. Okay, so you're already, you have to say, oh well, do you mind me taking a picture, and do you mind me posting it? ask the next question. Don't just say, "Do you mind me taking a picture?" And then all of a sudden you putting all these pictures on your social media, and then somebody sees that person, or you tag them, and next thing you know, everybody in their circle knows. They may not be at that point. So
Right.
be careful about taking pictures with your phone, or just being on your phone in general while you're on a date. You want to be focusing on the person. And remember, we said last week, be interested and interesting. And that doesn't require you sitting there being on your phone the entire time. And every time you're sitting there typing and texting and doing all these things. The person wants you to focus on them and
Yeah.
be engaged with them and what they're talking about. And
Hmm.
that's not being on the phone the entire time.
Hmm.
Okay, what are your thoughts on that, Sharonda? I got more, but I just
I'm like, why'd you leave the house if you needed to be on the phone? You could have stayed in the damn house if that was the case. You could have stayed doing something else if you needed to be distracted by your phone, because that's what it offers. A phone in that type of scenario is going to offer distractions because you're not interested. And so what the person reads from that is, oh, this person is not interested in me. And so if they're not interested in me, there's no need for me to go on a second date. Now you're sitting there confused about why they want to go out with you again. You weren't talking to me.
right,
I don't even want to spend the whole time you showing me memes and stuff like that. When we get to, if we've connected on social media, send me that shit to my inbox at a different time and I'll look at it tonight when I'm laying in my bed. But while
right,
we're together, people are forgetting the humanness of it all.
yes,
AI, Chat GPT, all these different things are extracting the humanness out of communicating.
you're right,
People are forgetting it is necessary to still, you, when you're dating, you need to hear people's words and what's in between the words. You have to hear what people are not saying.
body
You're
language,
missing red flags when people are saying, yeah, me and my mama, all right, nigga, run. He don't like his mama. You,
right,
me and my mother have a decent relationship. Oh, I love my mama so much. I see her every Sunday. Nigga, run. He's a mama's boy. You know, you ain't even paying attention because you so
right,
here that
right,
you're missing the things in between. And then later on, you're like, I didn't even realize they were that type of person because you were not fully engaged in the conversation. Get there, take all your little cute little selfies. Take a picture of your food if you want to take a picture of their
right.
food. If you
You're
want
gonna
to tag the restaurant, I suggest tag it after you leave because you don't need people knowing where the hell you at. But
right,
then put the phone down, save the pictures for later, put the phone down. Now I want to get to know you. Now I can give you
right,
eye contact
right,
is everything. So
right,
don't constantly engage with your phone if you want to get to know someone.
right, right. But just like you said, then people taking their phones and they're recording the date, or they're recording the person because they think, especially if they think that the date isn't going well. So now
Well,
they're going to all of a sudden put their phone on record. And now they're
yeah,
going and putting that person on blast on social media. You got to be real careful because people get to feeling some kind of way about stuff like that. Their privacy, and you're putting them on there and they don't know that they're being recorded and stuff like that. That
yes,
you're putting yourself in a dangerous situation.
yeah,
Don't do that to people. Don't record them and again take pictures of them and do things like that, because that's not what they came on the
thank
date
you.
for. Just like Sharonda said, they're coming on the date to get to know you,
Yeah.
to engage with you. Put your phone down.
Oh,
Put it and don't have it on vibrate and the whole time, and you have it sitting on the table and the whole time because that person is like, well, dang, you that
yes.
popular
Been
that your
all
phone is
night.
just ringing off the hook.
Mhm.
You can't be any place for an hour and your phone not be ringing 6 or 7 times. Now that person is going to start thinking, well, my goodness, well, who else you got calling you all hours?
Yep.
Or who you got? And now you're creating a narrative before
Yep.
the relationship has even started.
We even started.
And that's a dangerous place to be too, because now you're like, okay, well, if you, why are you dating me if your phone ringing off the hook like this? You must looks like you got a man, or you got a couple of men, or you need to catch that, or oh wow, you got a second date after this. People
Thank
are going
you.
to start creating their own interpretation of why your phone is ringing off the hook. And then especially if you say, oh, I'm just gonna, or you sit there and you look at it And then you just like, oh, and then you just going on. Now I'm looking at you, you suspect. Now you
Exactly.
suspect.
And I'm gonna go even as far as this. Even once you get into a full blown relationship and marriage, you still shouldn't be constantly engaged with your phone. There's no, you will miss so many things. Even if your person is getting sick, you can miss the symptoms. If you paid close attention to your person, I know G's gait. I know how he walks. I know how he moves. I know when he's alert. I know when he's tired. I know if he look like he may not even know yet that he don't feel good, but I bet you I know it because I engage that much and fully present with him at all times. I ain't saying we don't be on our phone now. That's a thing on lie. We have our times where we just laying there
Oh,
in the
that's
same
right.
bed, backs
Right.
turned to each other because that's just our time and our space separate. But then that time ends. I say, gee, I want to lay on you. All right, boom. That phone goes down. My phone goes down. We connect. We talk. We enjoy each other's company. It's
Right.
still that truth will remain true throughout your entire relationship.
That's
Never completely and constantly engage in your phone. It's inappropriate because you cannot make human connections that way. And you
yeah.
can't. And these are the people who be like, why I ain't got no woman? Why I ain't got no man? Because your phone is your woman. Never mind. Go ahead, Kim.
You're right. You're tethered to it. You're tethered to it. You look. No true words have been spoken, my friend. That's it. You're in a relationship with your phone.
Oh,
It's just missing
where
a
can I
slot.
find room? Where can I get in? Where do I fit in?
Right. Right. Right.
Mm-mm.
And
No,
then
I don't
you
hook
know
up.
and then what do you hear about the classic? People are trying to go into people's phones, and as soon as they put that phone down, now you so curious. Now all of a sudden you want to be a detective. Now all of a
Now
sudden
you
you
want to
want
be
to
a
see
detective.
what you in your phone looking at, and that's where these things. Now all of a sudden you asking, who is, what is it? Who is spam likely, and who is all that?
Girl,
Now
when I
you
heard about
going
people
through all
saving
that.
people their name as spam likely, I was like,
Oh yes,
yeah,
all
I
of
was
that.
so crazy.
All of that. You're saving it as a bill collector and all these things. Why are you going through all this rigmarole? But you talk about you want a relationship. You talk about and we talked about relationships being built on trust and all those things. And the phone can be that thing that is a deal breaker for some. If
That's
you're
deal
constantly
breaker.
on your phone, you suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm going to be spending too much time wondering who you talking to instead of who you're spending time with. Because it's not me. It's not me. And so, like I said, when we talk about these do's and don'ts and things like that, these are, some of them sound like they're obvious, but these are the things that we consistently see
Mm-hmm.
that help relationships blossom or watch them tank.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
we have to be mindful.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah. I love that series, The Do's and Don'ts of Dating. I really love them. I I've tapped into many of these things. I may have done some of the don'ts and learned from it over the years, but these are the things that truly, truly work when it comes to wanting to be in a relationship and wanting to have companionship. I hope that this particular part of our series has helped. I hope it has helped. Kim, thank you again for putting the meditation pillows and the website in the bottom in our little ticker. I hope that y'all take an opportunity to go and visit the website and use your promo code and get you a pillow because I love my pillows. I don't know how to
yes,
wear them, but
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. And look, every now and then we have to put those in there. I'm thankful for my meditation pillow. It is part of my 365-day challenge. To extend my meditation. And
Yeah,
so, like I said, these things go hand in hand. These
just
are things that we're doing. Remember, we're all about creating healthy habits, mind, body, and spirit. And these are things that you can add to your toolbox that are going to help you to be
absolutely.
able to be consistent in following those healthy habits. And like I said, that pillow goes down. I've extended my meditation time to 15 minutes in the morning. And now I have my pillow to assist with that. Okay, because the energy that comes from it is love. It was made with love, and
Yes,
and like I said,
Lord.
hopefully you guys will grab yours. Again, make sure that you like, follow, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channels. They will be on a QR code at the end of the show, or go back on the YouTube channels and see some of the shows that you've missed. Let us know some things that you're interested in hearing about.
Yep.
We'd love to have you guys join us every week. We're here
And
Monday live, 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Here
Eastern
closing
Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time, okay? Because you know, Carmen San Diego be everywhere.
You never know. You never know.
I be everywhere. I'm on Central Time, but I'm here. I'm here. All right. So with that, we'll say good night. Have a good week. Make sure you sprinkling self-care and self-love on yourself. And until we see you guys the next time, say peace.